So when we add this, this is added to the cart, as you'd expect. But how we theme the cart, I started off theming it using panels and panels everywhere. What you can do if you want to really go further down that line is you can go to panels and you can choose your default site template, and you can add in variants here, just like I've done with the login pages, but you can add variants which specify just for the cart or just for the checkout. So you can actually add lots of different content on top of the cart and the checkout. So if you wanted to add more views up and down, above and below, if you wanted to add nodes in or text or anything, you could do it using the panels templating system, which will take over that page. Then what was originally here, which was just this form, would get added as just the page content, and then you can add custom content above and below as you like. For this one, I didn't really need to do this. All I had to do was add this bit of text here. It wasn't really any theming, so there wasn't really any point in creating a whole new panels template. So if we go to views, this is just a view. This is one of the really big benefits of Drupal Commerce is everything is a view, pretty much. So you can just edit everything how you like. We've got the shopping cart form here. All I've done is edited this with a global text area in the header, and we've just got please review your basket and then some text below. Again, this is wrapped in H1 tags, and this is just wrapped in paragraph tags. So this is what we get here. The same thing goes for the checkout. You can add a panels template theming, but that wasn't really necessary for this. The checkout, you can lay out what goes onto each stage of the checkout if you go to Store, Configuration, and Checkout Settings. You can add, these are the different pages. The first page is checkout. We've got these different items on the checkout page. The second page is the shipping. I've chosen to put the shipping onto the checkout page, so it's all in one. Then we've got review, payments, and checkout complete. Now I've added some extra nodes into here, and the way I've done that is there's an extra module called Checkout Extra Panes. You've got an option, these tabs here, that allows you to add nodes and node text into the checkout system, so you can put them in different places up and down the checkout system. So I just created a content type, I don't know, called checkout text. Then I added that node. It searches for it, and you can add this node to here. Then these nodes here are available for use on your checkout form. For example, that first one there is a node. So on the checkout, we've got checkout with Flow and Us, and we've got some text there. That's a node just inserted into this page here using that Checkout Extra Panes module. So next we've got this theming here. We've got all these different colors. Obviously this is themed to look quite differently, but you can do that really quite easily by just theming the field sets. Now each of these field sets gets its own name. So for example, if I use Firebug to select this whole field set, we can see that this one was called edit-cart-contents. Now that ID is used to describe this block here. And so what I did was I added a little bit of CSS. Sorry, it's going to be quite small on the screencast, but you just have to take my word for it. I added a little bit of CSS called hashtag edit-cart-contents, added some code in there, and then that's themed in this way. So we've got the background, we can change this to white, whatever. You can change it to however you want, or don't have a background. So you can theme all of these different field sets in a way that suits you. I like these forms that are a bit more squashed up. They save space, and so all I did was on here was floated the labels to the left, and then made them a certain width, so that these forms come up next to the labels and it gets a lot more squashed down. So I'm not really going to go into the sort of advanced CSS stuff, but it's basically pretty easy to add CSS to your theme CSS file, which overrides these field sets each individually, but just by using Firebug, selecting the field set. How you have a look in the HTML code, because it won't come up on the right hand side because it's not been created yet. You have a look in the HTML code for the field set ID, And for example, this one for the billing information is edit-customer-profile-billing, and so I've created that ID in this side with the code. So that's it basically. What I've done is I've gone through, themed that checkout, themed the cart page before, just very simply by adding some text to the view. And so it runs through, and you can then pay. We've got PayPal enabled here, and it all works quite nicely. So it's a really, I like the panels everywhere system, because throughout the whole of this process I haven't been using any code. I mean, apart from if you count CSS as code, I suppose it is code, but I haven't been using any PHP code to get this looking the way it's looking. This is all just using Drupal Commerce, out-of-the-box stuff, a few extra modules, and panels and panels everywhere. So that's a basic overview of this site. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful. Hopefully what we'll do is we'll get those Drupal 7 tutorials up and running pretty soon. It's going to wait until after my holiday and wait until after I've had a bit of time to sit down and work through them. But yeah, look out for them. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.